Okay friends, now listen attentively. We are taking up today the product called Contractors all disk. So for your team, maybe this is a first session of this product. So you have to be extra cautious and extra attentive for this product. Before I go into the detail of the products, you must understand this class of contractors all risk insurance belongs to engineering insurance category. Now engineering insurance have plenty of individual policies, and those all policies are purpose specific. According to need, they are applicable. So here, when we have selected contractors all risk, that means this is also applicable to a specific purpose only. How this policy will come into operation, how this will cover the risk, what is the criteria of deciding some insurer, to whom this policy can be given. All these things are very important from your point of view to understand. So I am sharing with you the PPT. Let's see. Hopefully this is visible to all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now all of you can go on mute. So the name of the product is Contractors all risk, and this is engineering insurance product. Basically, engineering insurance means insurance policies that provides economic safeguard to the risk faced by the ongoing construction project, installation project, machines and equipment and project operations. These three are the specific purposes for which these engineering policies are designed. So all engineering policies, according to the nature of a product, are applicable to any of these risks. Maybe an ongoing construction project is there, or installation project is there, or to protect the machine and equipments in the project operations. Because engineering insurance is important in the sense there is a wide range of products, and all these products are applicable for different purposes. Maybe some of them relate to the creating, designing, construction, buildings, on-site constructions, including plants and machinery uses. Means all these policies are purpose specific. So why this CAR is important, you have to understand now. Say, contractor all risk is important policy. Why? Because today India is among the fastest growing economies of the world. Fastest growing economies of the world. This we can say because in India today there is a rapid infrastructural development. Rapid infrastructural development. What does it mean? In any economy, in any country, when the projects like railways, industrial units, housing facilities, dams, flyovers, power plants, and other such construction projects are on rise, it means that country or that economy is growing, fastest growing rather. So this rapid infrastructural development requires protection. Why? Because the rise in these infrastructural projects comes with a rise in material risk. When such kind of projects would be there, material risk would increase. Or you can say the possibility of loss or damage to the construction materials, machineries, or constructed portions due to environmental and man-made hazards can lead to substantial losses for the contractors. Because these are huge projects, big projects, long-term projects. The possibility of huge losses cannot be overlooked. So to cover such losses or to protect such financial losses, this is one policy which is providing coverage to the contractors, to the principals, to the owners of those projects. Now, when you want to know about the engineering policies, let us see how these are divided. Because type of engineering policies depends upon the time factor. Say for example, annual policies and long-term policies. Annual policies mean which are renewable every year. Some of them are contractors, plant and machinery, that is what we call CPM. Electronic equipment insurance, known as EEI insurance. Machinery breakdown insurance, also known as MBD insurance. Boiler and pressure plant insurance, in short it is known as the BPP policy. They are all annual policies. They are given to the project, to the industries, to the factories which are already in operation. But at the same time, there are long-term policies which are also known as the project insurance. These long-term policies are specific because they are not renewed every year. They are given for once, and if the project is not completed, in that case they are extended, not renewed. So they are also called as long-term policies or project insurance. And the prominent of these policies is contractor all risk and erection all risk. That means time factor divides the engineering policies in two categories. First is annual policies, where the policies which are in operation includes like CPM, EEI, MBD, BPP, and long-term policies or project insurance policies which are also known as the contractors all risk and erection all risk. So these are two divisions of engineering policies according to the time factor. But at the same time, policies are also divided on the basis of the functions. Again, two further divisions are there. For example, one, construction phase, where the engineering policies which relate to the construction are taken. They could be one-time policies or long-term policies, but they all relate to the construction phase only. For example, CAR, EAR, storage cum erection, machinery cum erection, marine cum erection, advanced loss of profit policy, also known as the DSU, that is delay in start. These all policies relate to construction phase. But the other part is operational phase. Operation phase means where the project has already started, where the operations of an industry or a factory or a unit have already commenced. Their annual policies are required. These policies include MBD, BPP, machinery loss of profit, CPM, civil engineering completed risk, electronic equipment insurance policy, and deterioration of stock, that is DOS insurance. So this is another division which is based on the construction phase and operational phase. policies related to the constructions are different, and the policies related to the operation phase are different. They are also divided on the basis of time factor, like annual policies and long-term policies. But this division is on the basis of the phase, to which phase the project is going on, whether it is under construction phase or it is on the operation phase. Now for this policy, period of cover is most important.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Anybody want to ask anything?
Yes, sir. Before going to the next slide, some of the people are asking to translate in Telugu. Just wanted to brief it in Telugu, sir.
Come back.
Wanted to brief it in Telugu, sir.
Pardon?
Wanted to brief it in Telugu.
In Telugu. Okay. Who will brief in Telugu? One of you only?
Me only, sir.
Can you do it?
Sir.
Can you do it? Or anybody?
Sir.
Yes, go ahead. I will wait.
About third slide, sir.
I am showing the slides. This is first slide. Okay, go ahead.
Third slide, sir.
First slide. Okay. This is first.
Okay. Enough, sir. From here, sir. In the CAR policy అంటే కాంట్రాక్టర్ ఆల్వేస్ పాలసీ అంటాం. ఇది మన పాలసీస్ ఉన్న కేటగిరీస్ లో ఇంజనీరింగ్ కేటగిరీ కింద వస్తుంది. అంటే మనం ఫైర్, మెరైన్ ఇట్లా డిఫరెంట్ క్లాసిఫికేషన్స్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఇది ఇంజనీరింగ్ దీని కింద వస్తుంది. ఇంజనీరింగ్ అన్నప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఎకనామిక్ సేఫ్ గార్డ్ ఆఫ్ ద రిస్క్ అన్నప్పుడు కింద మీరు చూసినట్టు 3 మెయిన్లీ ఆన్ గోయింగ్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, అంటే ఏదైతే కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ జరుగుతూ ఉంటుందో దానికి సంబంధించినవి. నెక్స్ట్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్, కొన్ని మొబైల్ టవర్స్ ఉంటాయి లేదా పెద్ద పెద్ద మిషనరీలు కానీ ఇట్లాంటివి ఇన్స్టలేషన్కి సంబంధించిన ప్రాజెక్ట్స్, అదొకటి కవర్ అవుతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ మెషిన్స్ అండ్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్, ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్లో వాడేటువంటి మిషన్స్, ఎక్విప్మెంట్స్, వాటికి సంబంధించిన వాటికి కూడా మనం ఈ సిఆర్ పాలసీలో మనం కవర్ చేస్తాం. ఇది ఎందుకు ఇంపార్టెంట్ అంటే సార్, నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్ సార్. ఇందులో చాలా వైడ్ రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ కవరేజెస్ అని ఉంటుంది. సో మనం ఇండెక్స్ స్లైడ్ లో చెప్పినట్టు ఆన్ గోయింగ్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ కానీ, ఇన్స్టలేషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ కానీ, నా వాయిస్ వస్తుందండి. ఇన్స్టలేషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ వీటన్నిటికీ మనం యూజ్ చేసుకుంటాం. సో ఇది ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు ఇంపార్టెంట్ అంటే మన ఇండియా అనేది గ్రోయింగ్ ఎకానమీ, చాలా ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ అనేది వస్తుంది. ఫ్లైఓవర్స్ కానీ, ఫ్యాక్టరీస్ కానీ, సివిల్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్, ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ సంబంధించినవి అన్నింటినీ బాగా డెవలప్మెంట్ అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి పాలసీ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇందులో కనుక చూసుకున్నట్టయితే ఈ ఇంజనీరింగ్ దాంట్లో 2 రకాల పాలసీస్ ని 2 టైప్స్ గా డివైడ్ చేస్తాం. ఒకటేమో యాన్యువల్ పాలసీ, ఇంకోటి లాంగ్ టర్మ్ పాలసీ. ఆ టర్మ్ ని బట్టి పాలసీ ఎన్నాళ్ళు ఉంటుంది అనే దాన్ని బట్టి మనం డివైడ్ చేస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు మనం యాన్యువల్ పాలసీలో కాంట్రాక్ట్ ప్లాంట్ అండ్ మిషనరీ, సిపిఎం పాలసీ అంటాం. ఇది ప్రతి ఇయర్ మనం రెన్యువల్ చేసుకుంటాం. నెక్స్ట్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్, ఈఈఐ అంటారు దాన్ని. ఇంకోటి ఎన్బిడి అంటాం, మిషనరీ బ్రేక్ డౌన్ ఇన్సూరెన్స్. నెక్స్ట్ బాయిలర్ అండ్ ప్రెషర్ ప్లాంట్, బిపిపి అంటారు. నెక్స్ట్ ఇవేంటంటే ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ రెన్యువల్ చేసుకుంటాం అయిపోయింది సార్. 5th ఉంది సార్. సెకండ్ వచ్చేసి లాంగ్ టర్మ్ ప్రాసెస్. ఇవేంటంటే ప్రాజెక్ట్ బేస్ని బట్టి ఉంటుంది. రెన్యువల్ అనేది ఉండదు, ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసుకుంటే వెళ్తాం. అంటే ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎన్నాళ్ళు అయితే ఉంటుందో ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అయ్యేంత వరకు ఎక్స్టెండ్. అప్రాక్సిమేట్ గా ఫస్ట్ ఒక 10 సంవత్సరాల పాలసీ అవుతుంది అనుకోండి, 5 సంవత్సరాల పాలసీ అవుతుంది, కానీ కంప్లీట్ అవ్వదు, ఇంకొక 2-3 సంవత్సరాలు పట్టేటట్టు. బట్ దాన్ని ఆ పాలసీని ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసుకుంటే వెళ్తారండి. దాన్ని రెన్యువల్ అని, ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ అంటారు. దాంట్లో వచ్చేసి కాంట్రాక్టర్ ఆల్ రిస్క్, ఎరెక్షన్ ఆల్ రిస్క్ పాలసీ. ఎరెక్షన్ అంటే సెల్ టవర్స్ కానీ ఇంకేదైనా మొబైల్ మిషనరీ ఇన్స్టలేషన్ కానీ ఫ్యాక్టరీస్ లో ఇట్లాంటి అన్నిటిని ఇది కవర్ చేస్తుంది. నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్. ఇందులో మళ్ళీ ఫేజ్ ని బట్టి కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఫేజ్ ఇక్కడ 2 రకాలు ఉన్నాయి. ఒకటో కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఫేజ్, ఒకటి ఆపరేషనల్ ఫేజ్. కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఫేజ్ అన్నప్పుడు ఏంటంటే కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ లో ఉంటుంది లేదా ఇన్స్టలేషన్ లో ఆర్ ఎరెక్షన్ లో ఉంటుంది. రెండోది ఏంటంటే ఆపరేషనల్ ఏంటంటే కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ అంతా కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయి దాన్ని రెగ్యులర్ యూసేజ్ లో ఉంటుంది. అప్పుడు దాన్ని ఆపరేషనల్ ఫేజ్ లో తీసుకుంటాం. కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఫేజ్ లో వచ్చేసి సిఆర్ పాలసీ, ఏఆర్ పాలసీ, దాన్నే ఎస్సీఈ అంటాము. మెరైన్ కమ్ ఎరెక్షన్ పాలసీ. మెరైన్ కమ్ ఎరెక్షన్ అంటే మెటీరియల్ అన్నిటిని ఎక్కడ ఫ్యాక్టరీ నుంచి ఇన్స్టలేషన్ సైట్ లోకి దాన్ని తీసుకువెళ్ళటం, ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్, తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఆ మెషినరీని మొత్తం ఫిక్స్ చేసి పనిచేసే విధంగా పెట్టుకోవడానికి ఆ పాలసీలు ఇచ్చేస్తాం. నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చేసి అడ్వాన్స్ లాస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాఫిట్స్. ఏంటంటే ఇది తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ప్రాజెక్ట్ కనుక డిలే అయినా అందులో ఉన్న లాసెస్ ఏదైనా కవర్ చేయడానికి పాలసీ ఇచ్చేస్తాం. సరే, ప్రాజెక్ట్ అంతా కంప్లీట్ అయితే స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత దాన్ని ఆపరేషనల్ ఫేజ్ అంటాము. మిషనరీ బ్రేక్ డౌన్, ఎంబీడీని, బాయిలర్ ప్రెషర్ ప్లాంట్ బీపీటీ, మిషనరీ లాస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాఫిట్, కాంట్రాక్టర్ ప్లాంట్ అండ్ సిపిఎం, సివిల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ కంప్లీటెడ్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్, ఇది ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్, ఈఏది, డిటరేషన్ ఆఫ్ స్టాక్స్. అంటే స్టాక్స్ ఏదన్నా దాన్ని దెబ్బతిని అవి పాడైపోతే స్టాక్స్ కూడా జస్ట్ లైక్ కోల్డ్ స్టోరేజ్ లో ఏదన్నా ఇట్లాంటి. ఎస్ సార్, దట్స్ నైస్.
Good. So I think it is clear to all. Proceeding ahead. So this CR policy has important aspect related to period of cover. Because this policy starts in 2 different stages. Either of them. First, the cover shall commence from the commencement of work, either, or first consignment at the project site, whichever is earlier. Means if I am starting an automobile industry for myself, contractor has started the work from today at the project site, it means the cover has commenced. If the work has not commenced, but the arrival of first consignment is there at the project site, which could be building material, which could be machinery, which could be erection material. So to protect them, again the insurance policy will start. So in either of these situations, the policy will start. But the cover will expire in 3 different stages, whichever is early. What these stages are? First, when the completed part is taken over, means contractor has completed and he has handed over the project to the owners or the principals. Second, put into service. Put into service means project is completed but the trial period is going on. So when the trial period is over, it is put into the service, then also the cover will expire. Third, the date specified in the policy, whichever is earlier. So either of these situations, whichever is earlier, the policy will terminate. Now, in case the work is not completed within the period specified in the policy, means policy has expired, but the project is not completed, what will happen? Then the policy can be extended. It is not renewed. There is a difference between extension and renewal. Policy can be renewed on any different terms as proposed at the time of renewal. But when it is extended, this is extended on the same terms and conditions when the policy was issued. Only the period is extended. And period could be for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 6 months, 3 months, whatever is required for the contractor to complete the project. So here in these policies, period of cover will start from the commencement of the work or arrival of the consignment on the project site, whichever is earlier. Cover will expire in three different situations, either of them, whichever is earlier. For example, for project is taken over or put into service or the date is specified in the policy. If the project is not completed within the policy period, policy can be extended. Now the question is, what's the difference between CR and ER? Why these policies are two different policies? So the determining factor is only value of erection or installation work. How it is? If the value of erection or installation work is more than 15% of the total projected cost, in that case ER policy will be given. ER means erection or risk. And if the civil construction portion is more than 50%, in that case CR policy will be given. Means erection and installation invites ER policy, erection dollars policy. Building construction, road construction, bridge constructions requires CR policy. So the determining factor is value of erection or installation work. Now this policy has certain unique features. For example, in majority of proposals there will be risk inspection by the company engineer, because these are all huge projects involving huge cost, involving long term. So the risk is inspected by the engineers, and on the basis of his recommendations or reports, only the proposal is accepted by the underwriters. At times, company engineer can also suggest certain features which becomes the warranty or condition of the policy. Secondly, duty of utmost good faith is very important here. Means the proposer, that is contractor or principal or owner, has to declare all material information relating to the project which is going to be completed within a certain stipulated time. So declaration of all material information is part of utmost good faith. That is the basic principle of the insurance. Policy can be issued in the joint names of two or more persons, for example, principals, contractors, subcontractors. But for all engineering classes, the tariff is the basis which governs all the policies of engineering classes. Though the tariffs have been dismantled by the IRDA, but for the purpose of pricing only. As far as policies are concerned, all terms, conditions, clauses and verdicts remains the same with all the general insurance companies of India. Even the proposals and policy are standardized, wordings are standardized. So all the policies are governed by the engineering tariff, maybe CAR or EAR or MBD or whatever it is. The next important aspect is the sum insured is adjustable at completion of construction on the basis of the actual value. This is very important in CR policies, because I give you a burning example of Jaipur. Here the government started a Dravyavati Nadi project. Initially the cost was 425 crores. The project continued for 3 years. And finally when it was completed, the cost was 1400 crores. So the cost may go up because of various factors. For example, labor cost is increasing, building cost is increasing, building material cost is increasing, delays there, or maybe certain other reasons may be there. So all these factors are contributing to the increase of the cost of the project. So projected cost is different, completion cost is different. That is the reason the sum insured is adjustable at the completion of the construction. Now the CR policy applied to any risk located in India, means any project which is continuing in Indian location Indian territory is insured. But if I am a contractor, I have 3 projects, one in India, one in Nepal, one in Sri Lanka. Only the Indian risk will be covered under the CR policy. No geographical extension is possible. And CR policy will be given where the 50% or more than 50% of the total projected cost relate to the civil work, that is construction work. Either the principal or the contractor or subcontractor can take this policy. It means for selling purpose, when you are selling this policy, you can give it to the government contractors who are involved in government projects like road construction, bridge construction, building constructions, or you can also give it to the builders and developers of township. Because they are also involved in huge construction projects. I show you the real image of the projects. Say the real images. This is a multi-story building, maybe of 20-story building. Road construction is there. A hospital building is there. All these are the practical cases which are insured and covered under the CR policy. Even the road construction has the huge risk because it's again a very costly project. Longer is the distance, higher will be the cost of the project. So, the CR policy provides coverage in 2 different sections. One is material section and second is third party liability. But here the material section is very wide because it means all risk coverage. All risk coverage means every risk is covered including the exclusions of the policy. Every risk is covered. Means loss or damage by any reason, sudden or unforeseen, is covered. If it is specifically excluded, then only it is not covered. So material damage section is very wide. Second, third party liability section is also wide because the property risk is covered, personal injury is covered. So policy is divided into these 2 sections only, that is material damage and third party liability. But in material damage, you can understand what kind of liabilities are covered. Say for example, fire perils are there. So in fire policies, you have seen 14 perils are there. Like fire, lightning, explosion, theft, burglary, windstorm, flood, earthquake, landslide, rock slides. These are all covered. Constructional fault. When the project is under construction, there could be defective material, defective workmanship, there could be collapse subject to accidents. Third, human errors like lack of skills, negligence of workers. Fourth, other perils like air crash, blasting. So the material damage section is very wide. Every kind of risk is covered except the exclusions. You can just have an idea of this real image, that is real loss which took place in India. This is loss at Delhi metro site. When this loss occurred, you can imagine it was a huge project, it was a long-term project. But when this kind of collapse was there, you can just imagine how many people died, how many animals died, how many machinery is destroyed, how much building material was wasted. Every kind of loss is there. So in such huge projects, losses are also big. Huge money is involved. So when you are giving this policy to any of your customers or contractors or principals or owners, you have to be very attentive about the sum insured of the policy. Why? Because the sum insured has to be determined on the basis of the completed value. And in engineering policies and fire policies, sum insured should not be underinsured. It can be overinsured. The value taken under sum insured can be more than the project cost, but if it is the less than the project cost and there is any kind of loss during the policy period, the insured has to suffer a big loss because the average clause will come into the application and that will deduct the proportionate amount of claim. So that means when sum insured is decided, the landed cost of the marine imports should be taken. Means if machinery is imported or material is imported. Landed cost of marine indigenous machineries means purchased from the country itself, from any area, any quarter. Cost of construction, projected cost of construction, permanent civil engineering work, half the escalated value if escalation is opted for, plus it should represent the complete value of the contract work on completion, which must include cost of material, wages, freights, custom duty, construction cost, materials or items supplied by the principal. Everything should be included. Still the project cost more go up. In that case, escalation should be updated. Because it can go twice of the projected cost, thrice of the project cost, and multiple times of the projected cost. So deciding sum insured is very important factor. It can be over-insured, but it must not be under-insured, because if it is under-insured, the contractor is going to suffer the losses and he will never come to you for any renewal or extension or for any other proposal. That means you are going to lose your customer. So while deciding the sum insured, you have to be very cautious. You can tell them, take the sum insured more than your projected cost. Now when you are selling this policy, you can also suggest the add-on covers. Because with this policy we have got 6 add-on covers. First is extended third-party liability, surrounding property of insured, escalation, removal of debris, CPM and maintenance. Now CPM may confuse you, because for CPM there is a separate policy called CPM, that is contractors, plant and machinery. But because the plant and machineries of contractors are working day and night at the project sites, so even the CR policy has got an extension or an add-on cover that is known as CPM, where the machineries of plants can be covered or falling into the contractors. Similarly, removal of debris is again very important add-on cover. Because when such a huge projects are going on, long-term projects are going on, certain constructions are demolished, destructed, removed, because there could be fault of the workman because of the wrong measurement, carelessness, wrong designing. So at times certain constructed portions have to be removed. And in that case, the cost of removal of debris is also to be incurred. That could be lakhs of rupees, millions of rupees. So contractors always prefer to take this kind of add-on covers, because right now when they are taking the policy, they are expending only thousands of rupees. But at the time of loss, they are saving millions of rupees. So this kind of add-on covers becomes very important for them. You can just imagine by seeing this image. This is again a real loss image. Building under course of construction. Maybe a building was under construction, some 8 floor, 10 floor building. Suddenly, say there was earthquake, upper 3 floor or 4 floor collapse. Now when the floors collapsed, everything on the ground was covered by the debris, and heavy building material was there. So the losses of persons, losses of animals, loss of machinery, loss of building material, everything was there. And it's a huge loss. But this entire loss is covered under the CR policy. What kind of losses are not covered under CR policy? That is important. Willful act, willful negligence, losses discovered at the time of taking into inventory, faulty designs, consequential loss due to the penalty or delay or non-fulfillment of the contract, cost incurred on rectification or improvement, and the most important is, if any injury, death or disability is caused to any worker, that risk is not covered under the CR policy. Because the worker of contractor is covered under a separate policy that is called Workmen's Compensation Insurance or the Employees Compensation Insurance. So this risk is insured under a different policy. CR policy will not provide any compensation for this risk. Third party liability can be taken as an added cover, as an additional cover, because it is required. In such a long project, the third party liability may be unlimited for personal injuries, deaths and disabilities. The condition is third party liability cover cannot be granted during extension period. That means it has to be taken only when the policy is taken. Premium can be on the basis of any one person or any one action. This has to be selected by the contractor. Again, see a real loss list. This took place at the Ghaziabad, where the building in course of construction collapses. 2 nearby persons killed because it is a heavy building material. Whoever was passing besides the project site died. Now policy has to pay the third party liability. So third party liability coverage is already there in the policy. This kind of loss is paid. Now if at all there is any kind of partial loss or total loss to the building which is in course of construction, how the claim will be settled? Say suppose partial loss is there. So insurance company will pay cost of repairs necessary to restore the property to the original condition immediately before the loss. What they will deduct? Only policy deductibles like salvage, compulsory excess, or under insurance if there is any under insurance. So that under insurance must not be there, because this under insurance will reduce the claim to a considerable extent. Say suppose the project cost is only 500 crore and at the time of loss it was found it is 1000 crores. In that case, under insurance will reduce 50% of the claim amount. So that makes a great difference. Similarly, in case of total loss, the same things will be applicable. Salvage, under insurance and compulsory excess. So focus should be on the under insurance. It should not be there. In engineering policies and fire policies, one important aspect is reinstatement of sum insured. That means, if during the policy period any claim is paid on the policy, the sum insured will be reduced by that claim amount. So for the remaining policy period, that is called unexpired period of risk, if at all there is any loss, in that case this sum insured has already been reduced by the claim settlement. So there could be a fear of under insurance. So to avoid that situation, insured should pay a difference amount of premium to reinstate the sum insured. Normally what is happening, because the insureds are not aware of this aspect, so the insurance companies are deducting difference amount of premium to reinstate the sum insured from the claim amount itself, and then only they are paying the claim. So this is again a good practice. This is again in the interest of the insured. Now when you are giving this policy to any of your customers, first of all you must note that the rating of CR policy will depend upon the project type. Project type means there could be construction of hospital, bridge construction is there, road construction is there, stadium construction is there. So whatever is the nature of product, accordingly the direct will provide the premium rates. But mid-term cover can also be given. Mid-term cover means, say suppose I have given a contract to construct an automobile industry within the land of 3 acres to a contractor. Now my project has started 6 months before. I have not taken any insurance policy. Today I came to know that the risk is huge, amount involved is big. I must take a policy, insurance policy to protect the losses. In such a case, which insurance company will insure my risk? If any insurance company is ready to insure the risk, they will have 2 conditions. First, if the project is already started and you are taking the policy in mid-term, the premium shall be charged from the commencement of the project. 6 months back. From that date, the premium shall be charged. Secondly, that shall be done post taking declaration from insured of non-loss till date. Means there is no loss during this 6 months period. I have to give in writing, I have to declare, then only the insurance company will give me a mid-term cover. So by these 2 conditions only,